This week on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend, it's strength on strength in Kansas City.
It is a tough place to play.
The Jaguars take the NFL's best defense to face the undefeated Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is the hottest quarterback in football. We're sitting down with head coach Doug Marrone for a scouting report. Plus,
keep pushing, keep going, keep growing.
Making a difference one kid at a time. Telvin Smith takes a powerful message to a local school. All that and more ahead on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend.
This is TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform.
Hey, let's go, man. Hey, give me 60 minutes, all you got. Fly around, let's have fun, let's stay together. Let's go 3-1 to start this quarter off. Win on three, 1, 2, 3.
A career day for the quarterback with 388 passing yards against the Jets. Bortles and the offense look to keep their momentum going against one of the worst defenses in the league. Hello and welcome to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. The Jaguars are heading to a hostile environment in search of their fourth win of the season. It's the Jaguars' #1 defense against the Chiefs and the top scoring offense in the league. This is the matchup the Jaguars' defense has been waiting for. It's their time to shine. Sunday will only be Patrick Mahomes' 5th start in the NFL, yet he's thrown 14 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Doug Marrone knows his defense will be tested.
Right now, he's playing better than any of the quarterbacks ever played. I mean, he's an MVP quarterback. What the question is what he can't do. You're talking about someone that's a combination of a lot of the greatest players that ever played that position. With the way he's playing, and that's just on tape.
Despite their talent under center, the Jaguars' defense expects to handle one of the most explosive offenses in the league.
I love our matchups. You know what I mean? It's no time that we're going to step on the field and be outmatched. We're going to have to go out and make sure we play, make sure we're ready to run, make sure we buckle our chin straps and get ready to come downhill on the run. And everybody just have a lot of energy, and we should have a great game.
This defense shines under bright lights. It's going to be intense on Sunday. Arrowhead Stadium is the loudest place to play in the league, where everyone is against the Jaguars.
I'm going to try to tell these guys it's going to be a lot of noise this week. That's one of the loudest stadiums. We're coming in town. We're doing pretty good, so they're going to make sure they're rocking.
Joined now by Brian Sexton and John Oehser, and thanks to Subway for providing us lunch today. John, I heard you're a big Subway cookie guy.
Love it.
Love it. We just heard Malik Jackson talk about Arrowhead Stadium and the atmosphere. It's going to be hostile. It's going to be loud. But this team almost performs better that way.
Well, I think it likes big matchups. It went to Pittsburgh and performed fine. The Jaguars did last year. I don't see them being intimidated by this. If anything, this has been a team since Doug Marrone got here that has responded to the big moment. And as far as regular season games go, I'm not sure there's been a bigger moment.
No, I can't recall one. I'll tell you, and I said this to both of you this week, I thought they were bored in the second half of the Jets game. They were kicking their butt. There was never a moment that the game was in doubt. And I thought they seemed a little lackadaisical. I have never worried about this team in the biggest of games because they're a team that needs to have the edge. I worry more when they go to Buffalo before Thanksgiving that they'll be as engaged in the game. I don't worry about them in Kansas City or against the Eagles in London. This is a team that's built to play when the pressure is on.
I think all you needed to know is Telvin Smith's smile when he talked to the media this week. They can't wait to show the world what they've got.
Oh yeah, they're definitely excited. Patrick Mahomes, 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Yes, head coach Doug Marrone, and he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, apparently.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a guy who is off to a record-breaking start, so there's some truth to that. And he does. Wow, he has a really impressive arm. But this is only his 6th start, and he has seen not one defense that is in the top half of the league yet. This is the best defense, best against the pass, fewest points allowed. This is a completely different challenge than he has seen. He's going to learn a lot about himself, just as the Jaguars expect to prove a lot about themselves.
I have no doubt this kid's the real deal, and that he's going to be great. But even the real deal guys, even the best ever, have games where defensive pressure affects them. That's particularly true early in their career. The key is you've got to get to this guy. You got to keep him in the pocket because he's great outside the pocket. I don't think it's going to be a game where you completely shut him down. The key is, can you make him make a few mistakes to give you the edge? And I think the Jaguars can.
Kansas City, highest scoring offense in the league, but this defense expects to handle that perfectly.
Well, I guess they expect it, but I'm not sure they're going to handle it perfectly. It's going to be a game to me that is in the high 20s. The key to defense to me this week is not necessarily holding them scoreless. It's creating advantages, creating turnovers that the Jaguars can take advantage of and get up in this game.
We talked so much about Patrick Mahomes. Let's not forget that Kareem Hunt led the league as a rookie running back last year and is coming off a pretty strong performance the other night. They want you to focus on Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins in the passing game, and then they unleash this guy on you. I'm with John. I don't know that there's a perfect way to handle it. They're going to score. The league is set up, the rules are set up to promote offense because it promotes TV ratings. For the Jaguars to go in and put their thumb on them and hold them down, they might be the best defense ever. Next week, you might have Jason Garrett in Dallas saying, I don't know what they don't do well.
But if they don't do that, it's not a tragedy. You've got to create opportunities for the offense when you have the chance if you're the Jaguars defense.
Takeaways. They had their hands on the ball last week. They've got to take it away. The Chiefs have fumbled 6 times in 4 games, but they've only lost 1. You got to make that number go up.
Absolutely. You definitely have to take advantage of those turnovers. Thanks, guys. There's still more to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. Still to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. The Chiefs have multiple weapons on offense. Jeff Lageman is in the film room with the head coach to show us how this Jaguars defense can control the Chiefs. Plus, it's Jaguars FAQ, Kansas City style. Kansas City has the most restaurants in the U.S. that serves this type of food.
Steak.
No. But first, it's time for Know Your Jags, presented by Fields Automotive Group. This week, we're finding out who likes Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I like Fruity Pebbles, Trix.
My favorite breakfast cereal would probably be, I'll say, Captain Crunch.
Crunchitize me, Captain.
It's amazing. My daughter loves Captain Crunch too, so that's all we eat.
My favorite breakfast cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Go with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
My go-to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I just had a bowl last night.
I love Honey Nut Cheerios. So lame, but that's just me.
If I do kind of sneak a cheat meal in, Honey Bunches of Oats, and I'll cut up some bananas with it, and yeah.
Breakfast cereal, Cocoa Puffs.
Frosted Flakes.
Apple Jacks, easily.
Frosted Flakes is just, it's not too much. It's not too extra. It's not really, you ain't got the extra marshmallows and stuff. Like, I like the marshmallow ones, but you gotta pick out the marshmallows. You gotta make sure you get it even with the marshmallows and the regular cereal. So Frosted Flakes is just straight up Frosted Flakes. That's how I like it.
I guess that's another thing growing up. My mom always bought Apple Jacks, and I guess that's just kind of what I'm used to and come to life.
I don't eat cereal. I don't like that. Too much sugar. I might just drink a soda.
You always been like that?
I mean, I just don't like cereal. It's just, I'd rather just drink a pop.
Jaguars Weekend is presented in part by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform, and Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Here comes Von Miller. Oh, how did he pull that off? He got it to Hill, and they've got a first down.
The play everyone is talking about. The Jaguars defense is going to have a chance to take down Patrick Mahomes. The second-year quarterback is off to a great start in 2018. Welcome back to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. The Chiefs have one of the best tight ends in the league and 2 explosive receivers. Not to mention a 23-year-old quarterback who's thrown the most touchdowns this season. The Jaguars defense has a chance to prove they're really the #1 defense in the league. Jeff Lageman has an inside look at the strength of Kansas City with head coach Doug Marrone.
Doug, you guys have a tremendous challenge this week with the Kansas City Chiefs offense, the #1 scoring offense in the National Football League. But hey, you've got the #1 scoring defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a great challenge. It's been a good week. It's been fun. And they have so many weapons that it's going to be a great challenge for our guys.
And it starts with the guys up front, the offensive line that blocks for a running back that led the league, by the way, last year. Some people have a tendency to forget that, but Kareem Hunt, very strong back, and what a move here on the sideline, planting his foot and getting vertical.
Well, I think just what you saw here, obviously he's a great running back, can run through some tackles, but he's very, very dangerous in space, and you have to get a lot of people to him population to the football and get him down. But, he's a guy that can run up the middle. He can run around you. He can get the ball in space and passing routes. And obviously you can see here, and he can finish plays.
And a viable threat in the passing game as well.
Absolutely.
Patrick Mahomes, this play on Monday night, which was talked about by maybe everybody in the football nation, what tremendous awareness of him flipping the ball over to the left hand. I can't throw the ball left-handed from me to you.
Well, I think it just shows. I mean, people have asked me earlier in the week, what do you think about the quarterback? And I don't know if words can put it into perspective of how well he's playing. He's a combination of all these great quarterbacks that we've seen through the years, and he's playing that way right now. So again, hopefully we'll be able to keep him in the pocket.
14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, hard to imagine for a young player. To go back a couple weeks ago against the San Francisco 49ers, and they run a similar defensive scheme to you guys. Robert Saleh was here as linebackers coach. This racer route to Sammy Watkins is something that you see quite often against your defense and is usually the primary target, but Patrick Mahomes trusts Tyreek Hill to throw it into double coverage.
He does. I mean, obviously Tyreek Hill's probably the most explosive offensive player outside of, the quarterbacks in the league. And, he's someone that's a playmaker, whether it be here or whether it be on special teams, whether it be on a jet sweep. He's someone that you have to know where he is all the time, and they move him all different spots.
It's impressive to me, too, that Patrick Mahomes had going into that Monday Night Football game a perfect passer rating when he has targeted Tyreek Hill. That's crazy to even think of.
It is, and we feel that it's more of let's go contain them. Let's not give up the big plays. They're going to make some plays, but let's make sure it doesn't hurt us.
All right, Doug. Best of luck with that.
Great, thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. It's time for Jaguars FAQ. This week we're quizzing the guys on some Kansas City trivia. Tommy Bohannon, are you ready for the Jaguars trivia game that is sweeping the nation, Jaguars FAQ?
Let's do it. Yep, I'm ready.
Are you ready to play the Jaguars trivia game that is sweeping the nation?
Ready.
Okay, let's do it. Kansas City has the most restaurants in the U.S. that serve this type of food.
Barbecue. Steak. Barbecue. Barbecue.
Kansas City is on the state line of what two states?
Ooh. Obviously Missouri.
Starts with a K.
Kansas?
Yeah.
It's on the state line of Missouri.
And?
I don't know, Kansas?
Yes.
Kansas?
Yes.
I was just making sure.
Kansas City is in Missouri, though, so.
They're on the state line of Kansas and Missouri.
Okay, that makes sense.
What famous cartoonist has a land in California, a world in Florida, but is from Kansas City?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry. Walt Disney.
You're getting help from Calais, he's cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Teamwork is the dream work, baby.
Right.
Disney guy?
Walt Disney.
Winner. There are currently 4 NBA teams in California. 3 of them have moved from somewhere else. Which one moved from Kansas City?
There's 3 NBA teams in California. One of them moved from Kansas City.
Not a big basketball guy, I'm not going to lie.
Sacramento?
I hear Kings yelling.
Kings?
Winner. I'll give it to you.
Probably the Kings.
100%.
All right.
And you're all worried.
I just try to do my best.
There's still more to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. Up next, we get in the community with the Jaguars and head into the kitchen game day grub.
I'm like that. 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 I'm here all day. All day.
Telvin Smith never struggles to speak his mind whether he's on or off the field. Welcome back to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. Telvin Smith and Miles Jack are the communicators on defense. They also know how to communicate and lead in the community. Our Baptist Health feature takes us to Andrew Jackson High School, where the linebackers have some advice for the students.
Hey, listen, this is behind the scenes, this before we go in. I'm telling you, this is our first time doing this. I'm going to speak to the kids. We're trying to start something special right here, you feel me? 4-4. Let's go.
Jaguars linebackers Telvin Smith and Miles Jack spent an afternoon at Andrew Jackson High School in Jacksonville. They wanted to share their story on what it took to get where they are today and share advice on how these students can be the best version of themselves.
You really gotta understand where you at, grasp where you at, and don't let people around you, affect them. And then if y'all got a group of people who are affecting each other in a positive way, in the right way, now you got a group of successful people, successful minds.
Both Telvin and Miles believe these kids are at a crucial point in their lives and wanted to be a part of these students making the right decisions.
The point that they're at in life right now is pivotal. You know, they can go one way or the other, and I feel like, you know, my voice just telling them just to stay focused, whatever they want to be. I feel like hopefully that inspired them to just keep pushing forward and become what they can be.
We really wanted to make sure that we're doing something in the community, more so than just talking about it and using our platform. We're going to really use our platform to get out of Jacksonville, to really move some kids and to really get some minds stirred up.
10 student athletes were awarded cleats and gift cards for their character on and off the field. Telvin and Miles will continue to be a part of the Character Cleats program, making a difference one student at a time. Telvin and Miles are making an impact in the Jacksonville community, one school at a time. Time to get into the kitchen with Game Day Grub, presented by Tico, People's Gas. Kansas City is known for its barbecue, but we're putting a little different spin on it this week with Korean barbecue tacos. For the full recipe and information about natural gas and available energy conservation rebates, visit peoplesgas.com/cooking. There's more to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars weekend. The keys to conquering the league's best offense are next.
Eyes along the right sideline. That ball's caught by Dante Moncrief. It's out the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown!
Hey, about time we stop throwing them back shoulders. Just let them go.
Hey, when they left your hand, you was like, yeah, touchdown.
Oh, I know it.
We're back with Brian and John, and thanks to Subway for bringing us lunch today. John, you love Subway?
Do they provide it free?
Absolutely.
I'm in.
John
I'm in.
loves free. Let's be clear about
free is
that.
me.
Yeah.
We just heard Blake Bortles mic'd up. It was really entertaining to watch. You can check up all the mic up features on Jaguars.com weekly. Is it safe to say a consistent Blake Bortles means a win in Kansas City?
Well, I think a spectacular Blake Bortles, which he has been twice this season, certainly does. Hold it to one interception. I don't know about the numbers on offense that he needs, but he needs to have one of those games where he appears comfortable controlling the game from behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't in a couple games this year. The Tennessee game against New England, against the Jets, they very much had confidence in letting him control it, letting him pass, and they didn't rein him in. They're going to have to play that way on Sunday.
The Chiefs have given up a league-high 30 explosive plays. An explosive play is 16 or more yards. I can see D.D. Westbrook all day long. That leads me to believe that I can see Blake Bortles having a really solid game. I think this is what makes it work.
Yeah.
Run the ball. You have to be able to run to set up play action. You have to be able to do that. If they can run the ball in the absence of Leonard Fournette and against the Chiefs, who are giving up 6.6 yards per carry the last 2 weeks, I think they can, then I expect Blake to have a very consistent day.
I think it's a big day for Keelan Cole and TJ Yeldon on Sunday.
So matchups. We talk about the obvious, Patrick Mahomes against this huge Jaguars defense, but what else are you guys paying attention to?
Oh, well, I mean, Deshaun Gibson, the tight end whisperer, against Travis Kelce. Kelce leads the league in yards since the start of 2017, and he leads tight ends in the league. Leads all tight ends in yards after the catch. He's a different animal than Rob Gronkowski. He's going to make Deshaun run around. That's going to be a key matchup on Sunday.
tackles of the Jaguars against the pass rushing defensive ends of the Chiefs, D Ford, Justin Houston, are dangerous. If Josh Wells and Jeremy Purnell can get those guys blocked and give Blake Bortles time, I think he'll be effective. The Chiefs' secondary has not been great. If Blake has time, he'll be fine in this game.
One other key matchup is the Jaguars' coverage units on Tyreek Hill. If he flips the field and gives Patrick Mahomes a 50-yard field or a 40-yard field to work with, it's trouble for even the best defense.
This is the most exciting game of the week. Everyone is excited to watch this game. Do you think the Jaguars can handle the hype of the big stage like we just talked about?
It's absolutely. And look, Arrowhead is an incredibly fun place to be on game day, especially when the Chiefs are good. The barbecue grills will have a haze of smoke over the top. It's going to feel like fall. It's going to feel like a really important game. Yeah, if you're not up for this, you probably shouldn't be playing in this league.
Yes, because the Jaguars' defense loves hype, and Blake Bortles has been involved with it enough. I don't think he gets overwhelmed.
All right, let's see if they can handle the hype and get their 4th win of the season. Thanks for tuning in to this TIAA Bank Jaguars weekend. We'll see you next week.